We've done it. West Ham United are in the final of the Europa Conference League. I can't believe I'm saying it. I mean, I know it's that tournament we've all gone, yeah, we should be winning this. We should be winning it. But let's be honest, when you actually get to this far and get to these moments, it's not something you can really prepare for, emotionally. It really has been just a magical occasion for us as fans. And do you know what? Today, when you become a West Ham fan or becoming a West Ham fan, you're not in it for the glory. It is certainly not a club you go into believing that you're here for the success and glories of football. It's just not. It's a club that is just, it's part of you. It's in your blood, and we have been through it, West Ham fans. We really have over the years. And let's be honest, I know we have ups as well, but we have had a lot of downs. And even this season's been tough. The Premier League's been really a hard slog, but we've had some real big downs as well over the years, relegations and financial issues and losing players, all these things that, it just goes, the list goes on and on. So to have this moment, to have these times, but something like this to happen for us, it really is special. And I couldn't be prouder. Honestly, I've been absolutely buzzing today. I've never been like this. I mean, I have been like this before, but not in this kind of level. This feels just like fantasy. You know what I mean? Total dream. And I'm so thrilled and so proud of everyone and everything, and all the players, the fans, everyone. It's just a really special moment, and I'm cherishing it. Really am, every moment of it. And yeah, I just can't believe what they've done, really, what they've offered us. I mean, this, all right, like I've said, the Premier League season has been tough this season. But we've got to give credit for the European campaign. We've been remarkable. I mean, really remarkable. I haven't actually got the numbers in front of me, but I can't, is it something like played 14, won 13, draw 1, something like that. We've played all these games and just done so well. And credit to the players, credit to the manager, because they've got it spot on. And they did again in that match. That semi-final, we handled so well. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's hard to watch sometimes, difficult. I mean, last night I was, it was very tough to watch at times, because the way we set up is basically we say, look, you have the ball. We don't mind not having possession. We like to just sort of stay tight, control the game, and it works. It works very well, but it's a hard watch, especially when you know that any slip up and we're in big trouble and we could lose something so special. So it makes it very tough to watch, but the way we did it, though, in the end, it couldn't have gone any better. And I'm thrilled, honestly, absolutely thrilled. I'm sure you, obviously, watching this, West Ham fans are. I mean, this is a really special moment. And it's a moment for our players, the manager, especially as well, where they are on the cusp of greatness here for West Ham. I mean, they really are. I mean, you look at some of these football players, they're going to become legends, this club. I mean, we've got to win it. They have to win the trophy. We're not there yet. Let's get that right. And we've got to keep that in check, because I've seen certain other clubs. I mean, let's look at Arsenal for instance this season, over celebrating too early. Let's be honest, they were, in my opinion. We saw it with Spurs a few years ago with the Champions League. They got to the final, but the semi-final victory, they were acting like they'd won it. They were really behaving in a manner as if they'd already lifted the trophy. And I just think, don't get me wrong, I'm so glad we're celebrating it, and we're right. We are right to celebrate, but we want to keep it in check. We know there's still work to be done. We've not won it yet. You don't get remembered for being a runner-up. We want to win this trophy, because this could be an immense moment for the football club and for the players. I mean, let's be honest, they'll all be heroes. I mean, if they could go there and do this now, but there are a few in that team now that really could go on to be legends of the football club. Really could be. And David Moyes too. David Moyes could really go down as one of the greatest ever West Ham managers if he does this. There's no two ways about it. We might not like some of the tactics and some of the things that have gone on this season with man management and all these things that have been a bit frustrating, but credit where it's due. This man has delivered this trophy, this tournament so far. I mean, to be where we are now is quite remarkable, considering the fact that we got to the semi-finals of the Europa League last season. And if he can win that trophy and get us in Europe again, then my word. I mean, we've talked about managerial changes this summer, and it's going to be a debate whether that we'll save all that. That's not, certainly not a discussion point at the moment. But he's certainly making a big case for remaining at the club, and you can't argue it. I certainly can't. I'd look at it and go, well, how can you dismiss him? Look, I don't want to talk about David Moyes' future. I just want to talk about this moment and what we're experiencing, because that was a really special game. Now we've spoken about David Moyes, we'll talk about a couple of players. I do. I mean, there's so much to talk about, and I don't want to just go on and ramble from subject to subject. So I just want us to keep it a little bit concise. But the first one I want to talk about is Pablo Fornals. I criticised Pablo on the last video we did. It was the last game review. That was the Brentford game. And I just sort of said, well, you get opportunities to come on the pitch. You're not really playing very well. It just frustrates me, And I'll be honest, when he came on for Ben Rama, I was a bit deflated. I thought, because I thought Ben Rama played well. I thought he looked quite lively. And I just thought I didn't really want us to slow it down. And because I saw it really as the option to go, David Moyes is basically saying, let's just defend now. We're going to finish this 0-0. So I got it. I kind of understood the decision a little bit. But I admit, I don't think there'll be many West Ham fans that were, delighted with that. They probably would have been thinking, I'm not sure. But my word, I mean, what a way to thrust yourself back in the spotlight and to remind everyone of who you are and what you mean to this club. Because Pablo Fornals has been there now for these last few years. Let's be honest, have been a real special time for West Ham. They really have been. I mean, when you sort of go back to the COVID period, we had that relegation battle. We got out of that. Moyes came in, got us out of it. With the next season, we had an amazing year. We got Lingard in. We finished 6th in the league. It was like, we were close to getting Champions League football. The following year, we got in Europa. We got all the way to the semi-finals. Still finished 7th. Got in Europe again. And we're here again. And all right, this has been a tough season, Premier League-wise, definitely. No, make no mistake. It's not something that we can just ignore. But even still, there's been those moments, drew with Arsenal, beat Man United, and now we're in a final, a European final. You've got to admit, these last few years under David Moyes have been the most special in my lifetime as a fan. Even when I look back to the Harry Redknapp days, we always look back with fondness. It was never like this. I remember one year, I think we finished 5th. I think that was his best finish under us. And we had some good, don't get me wrong, we had some great moments in that, but this has been really special. And as much as David Moyes has taken criticism from myself and from many channels and fans, and rightly so for certain things I talked about, tactics and setups and all these kind of things and the way certain players have been treated, all these sort of things. But I'm so grateful for him. I'm so grateful for that man to come to this club because he has given us some really special moments. And that performance and that moment and the fact we are in a European final, I couldn't be more proud to be a West Ham fan. I really am. I'm immensely proud today. And it's something I'm cherishing every minute of it. I really am. And Pablo Fornals, I mean, what a wonderful way to get yourself back into that position. And I'm just so pleased it was him. And what a lovely thing from David Moyes to say afterwards as well. I don't know if you saw it, but he said, if a player was going to score, I wanted to score, it would have been Pablo. Even he's like that. He realises what Pablo means to this football club and what the club means to him. He's a West Ham fan, Pablo. You get that feeling, those players that come to the club and they just become fans. He is one. He is certainly one. And honestly, I'm buzzing today and I'm so pleased for him. Because this could be a big turning point for him because he's had a tough season, he's had a rotten season, really. He's not really played very well when he's been called upon. He's found himself out of the team, and he's probably and no doubt it's hurt him a lot. I mean, you're going for a player that was playing, in our Europa League campaign last year, was one of our main players, and suddenly you're on the bench and you're not getting on, and it must be very painful. So I'm so thrilled, and I really hope that is the catalyst of a turnaround for him. Because let's be honest, we've got a summer coming up where we've got lots of change coming at the club. We're talking about Rice, we're talking many things, and who knows, even maybe owners, doubt it, but you never know. And then what I'm thinking about that is because you look at the midfield, there's probably going to be a lot of significant change there. Look at is Souček going to be in a main player next season? Not sure. Paqueta certainly, but there's not opportunity there for Fornals, and you look at that and think that's what. And I'm hoping that he takes that. I'm really hoping that he should be looking at that, thinking I can get back in this side. And let's be honest, that is what a way to kick that on, and I'm just thrilled. Another player I want to talk about as well is Michail Antonio. Now, I've been a little bit critical of Mick this season, and I'll tell you what it's been mainly because of the whole podcasting stuff that he's been doing on the side with the BBC and Callum Wilson. I just don't like it. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It just doesn't really sit well with me, especially when we've been in such a slog. I mean, talking about a game, let's be honest, we've been in the relegation zone, and then you're suddenly turning on your phone, or whatever, and you're seeing him laughing and joking and mucking around. It hasn't gone down great, okay? But do you know what? When you stand back, actually, and forget all that for a minute and really look at Antonio and what he's done for West Ham and who he's been for us since he's been at the club, he is really up there He really is. He's really could be up there. When I talked about earlier about legendary status, I really think he's on the cusp of that now, like really becoming a legend at this club. I mean, you think when we took him on, I mean, he did the non-league route to football, which I always love. Such a romantic story, Tooting and Mitcham, and then worked his way up. He went out on loan to, I think, Southampton, Sheffield Wednesday. Then he went to Forest, and then West Ham took him. I mean, we're talking 2015, 8 years ago. And you think what he's done in that time. I mean, he's become our Premier League goal scorer, record holder. He's scored in the goals. Some of the moments he's created have been amazing. I remember him scoring against Tottenham at the Upton Park 1-0 win. Man United scored in that famous game, and obviously scoring that goal against Tottenham at their new stadium, the first goal there and the first win there. And he's really given us some memorable moments. And the fact is, this season he was down the pecking order. The club have gone, right, we're investing in a new striker. They bought in Scamacca, they bought in Ings. Effectively, he was being pushed out. And it upset him. I think it really did upset him. He struggled. And you think back, he's not only got back into the side through injuries and, for Scamacca, but he's forced himself back into as number one. He is the number one striker at his club now. Scamacca's fit. He's not back on that pitch. No way. Moyes will know that. Antonio's too good. He's such an important part of our team. And I just love him. I'm so pleased for him and think, how lucky we are to have had Antonio in our club. And you consider the fact the age he's at. I mean, the last 2 years, I don't remember a big injury. I mean, you think before that, how many times was he off for months with injuries and hamstring injuries, and it was continuous. Now he's just he looks after himself better. He's talking about he's changed his diet, his training regime and all these things. He's obviously working very hard at that. And there's sometimes we are critical of players, but when you stand back and remember and realise what he has done for West Ham and who he is, I'm, really, really chuffed for him. And yeah, I mean, there are certain players that are on the cusp of greatness at this club now. Really could be, putting their names in the history books. And I'll tell you what, Antonio is one of them. He's one of them that you look at and think, if he can lift that trophy at West Ham, he will be regarded as a club legend. He really will, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, some people might not agree, but I really do. I'm so chuffed for him. We've obviously got now the final. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying it. The European final, West Ham, Fiorentina. I'm buzzing for it. That's all I can think about. I can't lie. I don't really care about the last two remaining games. I don't care. Of course I care, but I'm just not that focused on it. I'm not that focused. We're doing a preview tomorrow. Riley is back. Riley's back doing the previews tomorrow, so I'm really looking forward to that. Of course, speaking to Riley again, and we'll go through the previewing the Leeds game and talk about other topics as well. So he's back this week, which is brilliant because he's been away studying. But I've got to admit, I imagine on the day of the game, the Leeds game, and when I get there, I'll flick into gear and go, hang on, right, what's the team? I want to know, we got to win this. And I want us to do well. Of course I do. But I can't help but just keep thinking about the final. And David Moyes has already alluded to that it's going to be rotation. And rightly so. I mean, my God. Do you know what, as well? One thing, which I don't know if you've seen yet. I've only just seen this I've been looking just recently before doing this video. Fiorentina are playing their last league game of the season 3 days before our final. 3 days. Now, I understand they will rotate. I'm sure they will. They will prioritise that. But looking at their league, okay, they're, I think, 8th in the Serie A. And I think they could finish easily 12th. I think there's like 4 or 5 teams in the middle that are all separated by a couple of points. So they won't want to be giving that up because, all right, look at like us. Like, they're obviously going to prioritise the Conference League, obviously. But they're not going to want to just give that up, I don't think. And bear in mind, even if they do rotate their best players, which we're going to be doing, they've still got to be playing games. They've still got some players are going to be playing. We're going to have an extra bit of rest than that. So I think that's a good bit of something to look, to be quite, optimistic about. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for it. And yeah, we'll do the Leeds preview tomorrow. I'm not going to worry about that now. And it's going to be a funny one to preview because as I say, I've not really thought about it. It's almost like it's come a little bit too quick, this game. I'm just sort of Leeds. We've got to play another game. I'm still celebrating. And I can imagine that's how a lot of fans feel. And dare I say it, probably some of the players really probably be struggling to probably focus a little bit on this one. I don't think it really matters ultimately for us. I'm just talking about us up here. Probably doesn't matter ultimately because I think we are safe, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything really to worry about in terms of that. But who knows? Maybe we got the bounce. who knows? Maybe we'll go out there and really give them a game, because we'll be absolutely buzzing and thinking, do you know what? We've got to get a result. I really want to see Fornals play, really do, because can you imagine the welcome he's going to get? And that'll do him the world of good to walk out on that pitch to a big cheer and everyone getting behind him. And I'm just, honestly, I'm so chuffed. I'm so thrilled, as you can probably tell. And yeah, the excitement builds. We're now on the road to Prague. Come on, you Irons.